Hello, BRE 101. My name is Cynthia Sanchez, and I'm going to be going over Chapter 4, the listing package and breakdown of a listing agreement. In this Chapter 4, it goes over the basic 5 forms we refer to as the listing package. A listing package is a packet of forms an agent provides to the seller when taking a listing. So I'm going to go over the 5 forms first. You have the disclosure regarding real estate agency relationship, the AD form. This form ensures that the seller knows that the agent is representing him or her and owes a fiduciary duty to him or her alone, unless the agent is also representing the buyer, which is called a dual agency. This form is signed by the seller when signing the listing, or when signing the listing. The second form that you have is the possible representation of more than one buyer or seller disclosure and consent, the PRBS form. This form is given to the seller and the buyer to inform them that as an agent, you may be working for more than one seller or buyer. The buyer also receives this form as well. The third form is Wire Fraud and Electronic Funds Transfer Advisory, the WFA. This form was created because of recent upticks in fraud, whereby a hacker will contact the party to indicate a new routing number for transfer of funds when they are in fact hijacking those funds. It advises parties to contact the original escrow company, for example, to double check that the information about transferring funds is correct. And the buyer also receives this form. The fourth form is the residential listing agreement, the exclusive authorization and right to sell, the RLA. This form is the actual form used to take a listing, whereby the seller gives the agent or the broker the authority to sell his or her property under what conditions and during a particular time period. It also includes escrow instructions. And the fifth form is a seller's advisory, the SA. This form accompanies the RLA and advises the seller that many things are required either by law or by listing or sale contract. It includes items such as disclosures, contract terms, and legal requirements, as well as marketing conditions. The goal is to make sellers as aware as possible of the factors involved in selling their property. And another concept I learned was the broker's role in pricing. Helping a seller determine a home's selling price is the key to getting the seller to set a reasonable listing price. And I also learned the market value. It refers to the amount of cash or cash equivalent that is most likely to be paid for a property on a given date in a fair and reasonable open market sale. And there are 3 common approaches to valuation. The most acceptable for residential property is referred to as the market data, or the comparative approach, where value is indicated by recent sales of comparable properties in the home sales market. This approach is the most appropriate and often used to set the listing price. The second method is called the cost approach. It calculates the current cost of replacing or reproducing the improvement, less depreciation, and adds the value of the land, which is never depreciated. The third approach is useful primarily in income producing properties like apartments. It is the net income or capitalization approach, which capitalizes the net earnings by an appropriate rate. Another thing that was in the book buyer's market, which it means more listings than buyers, and a seller's market, more buyers than sellers. And that overall, there's a lot of keynotes in this chapter, and it also actually discusses like comparative market analysis, which can be complied by a real estate salesperson and does not require the expertise of an appraiser. The basic CMA has 3 sections. It includes the active listings, the withdrawn listings, and the close sale listings. And it also explains as well like the expired listings, which show houses that are listed but failed to sell. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.